We are rolling. Yeah, we're good.
All right. So this is Jason and Justin. We told you we'd be bringing you some wonky news and some bad news and some good news, or mainly good news. So
Whatever news.
So we're going to kind of start off with some wonky news here, and we got looks like we're going to start off with looks like Harley Davidson broke the Guinness World Record for the amount of motorcycles in a parade. It's reached 3,497 Harley Davidsons at Cox Field Airport, Tarmac, Texas.
And to be clear here, I don't think it was Harley Davidson that broke the record, although I do think they helped. But it's a really cool story because we're big motorcycle fans.
Yes, sir. I think we've got 5 between the two of us now.
Yeah. Our daddy got us our first motorcycle when we were 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Our first dirt bike.
5 years old. Yeah.
So we're pretty cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
So, yeah, this says Adam Sandoval. He tried to break the record since 2010, and he wanted to bring it to the United States because it was originally set in Greece. This Sandoval guy was presented with the Guinness certificate after the official count reached 3,497. You know how many motorcycles that is?
3,500.
You know how many motorcycle tires that is?
I'll tell you what, when we drove through Sturgis to go to the Badlands that time with Mom and Dad, that had to have been more than 3,500 motorcycles. Dude, there were motorcycles parked on both sides of the street, in the middle of the street, too wide. Everywhere we went.
And that's, if I'm not mistaken, we were about 14 at the time, and that's the first time we saw that many bare naked titties. As an adolescent, we were walking around Sturgis, South Dakota with a bunch of boners all day.
Man, I've never been in New Orleans during Mardi Gras, but man, that had to have been a close second.
You ain't lying, cuz.
There weren't no beads, they were just bikes and tits everywhere.
Yeah.
It was great.
We learned real quick there was many kinds of titties.
And that's always good to associate tits with motorcycles when you're 14 years old coming into everything,
Absolutely. Now we got 5 bikes, and it's always a great story to tell our friends.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah.
And now our new YouTube friends.
And we've always been a big fan of the Guinness Book of Records as well. My buddy Jason Bender's uncle, actually, I thought he was bullshitting me, but he actually told me that his uncle ate an 11-foot 3-inch birch tree, ate it with a fork and shit,
and shit it out,
and shit it out.
11-foot birch tree.
And I didn't believe him, and his mom came up and showed me that book with his name in it, and I'll shit you not, it was in there, it was all legit, and I felt like an idiot.
She said, I'll take you over to meet him right now. You think we're lying.
Couldn't believe it. Ate an 11-foot tall tree. A fucking tree. I said, what'd he do? Put it in a pot and boil it until it was like cereal so he could eat it?
He said he ground it up, put it on everything.
Apparently. He just did what he had to do. But he got like $10,000 check for it, so that might be worth shitting out a tree. I don't know.
$10,000 after Uncle Sam gets a hold of you, that's like $4 or $5.
At least $4 or $5 maybe, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
That's a good story.
We actually are going to follow that up with another Guinness story, which is actually even more strange and funny.
Oh, another one, huh?
Yeah. These students at MIT broke the Guinness World Record for hot dog throwing.
Hot dog throwing?
Yeah, there's a record for everything in Guinness. That's why I like it so much, personally.
Okay.
But these kids from MIT, so they're smart.
Apparently, if they can catch a hot dog.
Yeah, they're just, they're
wicked smart.
Super smart. A pair of Massachusetts Institute of Technology students broke a Guinness World Record for throwing a hot dog and catching it in a bun.
Ooh.
You can't just throw the hot dog and go the distance. It has to be caught in the bun. That's the caveat.
In a bun, even.
In a bun. Her name was Phoebe Lee. I'm going to go ahead and guess she's Asian. Oh, she's Asian.
That's a good guess.
A junior lobbed the cooked hot dog 120 feet. I couldn't do that if I dreamed of it. Where it was caught in a bun by graduate student Amber Van Hemel. Come on.
The story would have been better if they actually threw the hot dog down the hallway and did it, but...
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
They said that documentation from the record attempt is now being submitted to Guinness for official recognition. Well, they're not even bona fide yet. The story's already written.
See what happens?
See what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass? You see?
When you fucking Guinness Book of World Records holder guy in the ass.
Those guys are pretty hardcore, man.
Yeah, they get the tape measures out and everything.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm assuming they got one of them big roly-poly ones they use, to roll out the football fields
Man,
and
they
stuff.
probably got thermometers and everything out there. Temperature of the hot dog was 68 degrees Celsius.
I think it would probably be omitted from the record if it was below a certain temperature.
Yep.
But I'm sure these kids at MIT had that all figured out beforehand.
I'm sure they did, being the MIT and all. Mm-hmm. All right, what we got coming up next? I'm tired of the damn Guinness books.
That's done. I just find it fascinating.
Yeah,
I'm always interested to know which other thing got broken, which other record got broken, and a dude ate a tree.
Yeah.
There's a record for everything, which is why I'm fascinated by it.
Yeah.
And I guess this next story is going to be some kind of Guinness record too at some point. Not yet, but I think they're well on their way.
Tell us what you got.
Well, these Filipino students are starting to turn littered dog poo into bricks.
Yeah, I'd give it a year before they're trying to put that in the Guinness book for something.
I don't know, man. It might get some attention in certain cities around the United States, that's for sure.
I bet they can't use a lot of puppy poo because they'd end up with all kinds of like socks and thread counts and crayons and probably be hard to make a poop brick with that.
Mm-hmm. You can literally polish poop. We found that on Mythbusters. That was pretty funny. They were literally sitting there for hours polishing shit.
Yeah. You polish, as Grandma always said, you can always polish a turd, but it's still a turd.
It's always going to be a turd. Every time. Well, in this case, it could be a brick. So,
all right, so what's the story behind this bad boy?
This bad boy says a group of secondary school students in the Philippines found a way to convert poo from stray dogs into a mixture for bricks, aiming to rid city streets of excrement and potentially even lower construction costs.
Ooh, light bulb.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
I'm thinking what you're thinking.
San Francisco. We could take up all the needles, all the feces, all the urinations, and we can put them all into bricks, and then we can build
houses for them.
Shelters for the homeless, outhouses for the homeless. We can make little houses where they can go inside so they can shoot up their drugs in their arms.
And once you kiln dry them, man, they don't stink anymore.
Yeah. Well, it says here that they air dry after a while.
Well, it's got to be sanitary, shooting up heroin into your arm within a house made of shit.
I see nothing wrong with it. I'm going to allow this. Air-dried dog feces, which were then mixed with cement powder and molded into a rectangular, quote, bio brick.
So who are the poop pressers? They got to be poop pressers, man. Pressing them into a mold if they're molding it.
I'm hoping they have some kind of a mold.
Unless they got some kind of poo extruder. You never
hey,
know.
Dude.
It's 2020, man.
We're building buildings out of fucking dog poop now, man. There are no rules.
Possibilities are endless.
Let's see. Quote, bio bricks are ideal for sidewalk pavements or small structures like backyard walls. Each brick contains only 10 grams of dog poo and 10 grams of cement powder and has a faint odor that the group says will fade with time.
10 grams? That's
10
not
grams.
very much.
That doesn't seem like a big brick.
Man, that's nothing. That's like, what weighs 10 grams?
I don't know.
2 CDs put together?
Maybe a couple Tootsie Rolls? Hell, I don't know.
It's not much. Those must be some small bricks, but judging from the picture, I mean, it looks like they're pretty healthy size.
I didn't do well in my shit arithmetic when I was growing up, so I don't know. It could be make a whole cinder block out of 10 grams of shit and 10 grams of cement powder, so I don't know.
Perhaps poo is less dense than originally conceived.
Perhaps it is. Yes, of course.
I tried to make that sound scientific because we're talking about MIT people and all.
Indeed, yes.
The hot dog throwing out, turning shit into logs, bricks, whatever.
There's an idea. We could take lumps of dog poop and turn them into Tootsie Rolls.
I bet I could throw that lump of shit all the way down a hallway and catch it in a toilet.
We can scratch the hallway and we can set a Guinness Book of World Records for throwing shit and catching it in a toilet.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
But it's got to be your dog. It's got to be your shit. So whose shit is it?
I would say whoever's flinging the shit, it should probably be their own shit because you're going to be grossed out enough.
I think the guy catching this shit, it should be the guys catching it shit.
That's fair too.
Because you can throw anybody's shit with gloves, but if you're catching somebody else's shit and you take a pie to the face, you're going to be wishing it was your shit.
And let's face it, shit doesn't stay together when it's caught.
No, it doesn't stay together in the air from what I've seen.
We don't need Mythbusters for that one. No. And we'll have to show up at MIT so we appear very smart while we're doing it.
We'll just put on some glasses and a white lab coat, man.
That's the secret.
That's the badge for getting in MIT.
Absolutely. So, enough shit talking.
All right.
I guess.
What's next on the old list here for wacky fun?
You can take this one from us, Jason.
Breaking. President Trump makes surprise Thanksgiving visit to U.S. troops in Afghanistan.
He's such a cool dude. He's such a cool dude.
Everybody, he takes so much shit for everybody. That dude just keeps right on getting it.
He's a boss.
He is. Dude's a fucking winner, man.
Nobody's touched his shit so far.
I don't care what anybody says bad about him. The dude's a fucking winner, and that's why people hate him.
I mean,
he can't be bought. He's a fucking winner.
He told everybody, we're going to do so much winning, you're going to get so sick of winning. And that's exactly what's happening.
That military-industrial complex don't know what to do with him because they don't know what he's doing, and that pisses them off to no end.
They ain't wrote him no checks.
Nope.
So let's see here. The president arrived at Bagram Airfield at 8:26 local time in an unannounced visit. He departed Mar-a-Lago late the night before and flew overnight to Afghanistan in a secret mission, and reporters were even on strict orders to keep the trip a secret for safety reasons. The troops cheered and applauded as their commander-in-chief entered the base.
Nice. Nice.
Very nice.
Wonder what they're going to say bad about that. Oh, President Trump, every other president went out there and gave him little Christmas baskets. He didn't take him any Christmas baskets. Or they always come up with some dumb shit.
Yeah, it'll be something will be wrong about him doing that.
He signed a MAGA hat, dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Lefty
and this
loons,
is what leads us to do this shit. Trump's awesome tweet that broke the left.
Oh no, what'd he do now?
For those of you that haven't seen this,
people that get irate about his tweets, man, they just don't understand the humor.
It's so good. This is just why he's such a boss.
He's not presidential material. Yeah, he is.
Nothing says presidential material like that.
We've never had a president like him, and that's exactly why he got voted in.
Nobody's giving this guy any shit today.
Nope.
I mean, this is the best tweet ever.
So the guy tweets a picture of himself as a boxer, ripping strong, ready to whoop some ass. You gotta love the guy.
Straight up Rocky Balboa.
You can hate the guy all you want, but you gotta love the guy.
Nothing better. Nothing fucking better. And he's just the maestro of trolling.
Oh, dude, he trolls them. The lefty loons' heads just explode, and I love every minute of it.
It's great.
But he said he misspelled it.
Boom! Off with the heads. All right, so that's it for the Q, or for the weird news and the funny news and the entertainment. Now we're gonna get into some Q posts. Those you don't know, we are super fans of the QAnon movement, or conspiracy, as most people call it. And if they do call it that, they have no fucking idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, most of the lefty loons that make fun of Q, they're either lazy, or they have no interest in watching something that just opposes what their ideals are. But if you watch the lefty loon news outlets like CNN and MSNBC, and all the paid players that own all the media outlets that can control everything you see, hear, touch, feel, if you're watching those guys, you don't have your best interests at heart. They want you to know what they want you to know, and that's it. And anyone that opposes QAnon and thinks that they're just a fun-playing LARP, you really need to go to qproofs.com, and you really need to get into it and educate yourselves, because there's some hardcore shit going down behind the scenes, folks. And if you're a lefty loon and you're watching CNN, you ain't in the club.
Yeah.
You need to educate yourself and get in the club.
That's actually a very good indicator on how far and how deep people get into things, because if they say something about QAnon as, oh, you're into that stupid, you're just a quack job, you're into that conspiracy shit, you can pretty much rest assured they don't make it much past CNN.
No. At all.
At all.
So, all right, so we're going to get into the November 25th Q post here.
Yeah.
What we got? What are we starting off with
These
today?
will be post 3628 all the way down to, let's see what the last one is, 3636.
All right.
And
few.
yeah, they're getting good, man. We've been paying attention to this Q stuff for a long time, and there's actually a whole Q-proof website called qproofs.com. I believe you should go check out if you're having a hard time believing this.
Yep, it's big. It's a big site, and it's hard to follow a little bit, but you just need to take the plunge and get yourself involved and get yourself into it.
And we've been doing this for years. What are some of the shows we watch? We watched Destroying the Illusion with Jordan Sather.
Yep.
Big fan of him. He's
True
a smart
Reporting.
dude. True Reporting. Space Shot 76. Shout
Yep.
out to all these guys. Red Pill 78.
They all do awesome work. Highly
Citizens
recommend them.
Investigative Report. Deception Bites.
Yep.
All these are some of our favorite podcasts.
Yep. Watch Quite Frankly.
Quite frankly, is the shit.
He's got a very good show on every night that we watch religiously. He's a great dude.
Absolutely.
Love it when he rants.
And I know we're forgetting many, but that's just who pops in the top of my head. And
Yeah.
they all need shout-outs.
Yes, they do. Dustin Nemos is another diehard that we really love.
In Pursuit of Truth. Love that dude. He's
Yeah.
funny, he's smart as hell, and he just has a way of just breaking things down so anybody can get it right off the bat.
All great people.
Man.
Big fans. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get to this Q post. Shout out to all you guys. We love you. Keep it up.
Absolutely.
All right, Q post 3628. Saying, looks like we got a link there. Twitter link, incarcerated ET status. Q says, enemy of the people. You are the news now. Facts matter.
Definitely. And it's
Yeah.
a very important job to have. And
Yes,
you
it
need
is.
to handle it with care, as Q has said before.
Yes, sir.
And then we have here, the link goes to this IET Twitter. Says, ladies and gentlemen, Anons present to you the fake news, their duplicity, their hypocrisy, their agenda, their coordinated efforts, and outright lies, side by side for easy dissemination, just like Q asked. A thread. And then we go through many, many pictures, and we'll start with this one because we just will. You can see here how it just starts with dogging on the Republicans and catering to the child-eating psychopaths.
And it's not just Republican, Democrat. This is not has nothing to do with left versus right. This has everything to do with good versus evil.
Right. This is just how the mainstream media poses everything, so we argue.
Yeah.
We all argue with each other.
We call it the upside down.
It is definitely the upside down.
So here's a little post for deals with some of the hypocrisy. This is from Philly.com. It has a picture of Melania Trump looking dashing in a white dress. She looks very presidential. And then it says Melania Trump's RNC fashion, a scary statement. And then literally they have a post from how long ago was it?
I don't know. I can't read it right here.
Looks like about eight or 9 months ago. It says DNC fashion. Hillary Clinton looks very presidential in all white pantsuit. Literally the same professional white outfit, but just shows you how they spin things.
Absolutely. This is a good one,
The
too.
hypocrisy. Oh, the hypocrisy.
Yeah, that's all this shit is, and it's a perfect example of how it works.
Yep.
I like this. How Obama tapped into social networks' power. Right next to it. Trump is confused about social media. He's not alone. Obama used this now to basically tell the enemy all of his moves he was going to do.
Yeah, we're gonna bomb Afghanistan tomorrow at 2:30 p.m.
Yeah. And then this one here is Trump's confused about social media. No, Trump is a baller, and he uses social media like a maestro, and he trolls the living hell out of everybody on there.
And he doesn't tell his enemy when he's gonna bomb him and how he's gonna do it and what he's gonna use. They
So
don't have
who's,
time.
who's actually confused here?
They don't have time to set up for it.
I'm pretty sure
You
the
don't want-
left's confused because they never know they're being trolled, and it works every fucking time.
every time.
Every time. He's a baller. Get
He
over
is.
it.
He's not really as much as a baller as they are stupid.
True that.
Actually, no, he is a baller. But
Yeah, he's a baller.
seems like they are stupid, though, just because of all this hypocrisy. Here's another one. This is from State. 5 very good reasons to keep the Electoral College, and it shows all the swing states and everything, and then an article right next to it from some time ago. It says the Electoral College is an instrument of white supremacy and sexism.
Black and white, white and black, left and right, right and left.
They're so goofed up, people. So goofed up.
This looks like a 12/12 of 2012, or 11/12 of 2012, and 11/11 of 2016, 4 years apart, saying the exact opposite.
Yeah.
And that's Slate, not State.
Oh, Slate.
It's
sorry.
at Slate on Twitter. Put that shit on there. Bunch of fucking hooby-gooby motherfuckers.
The hypocrisy is just astounding.
And here's a lady here.
Jessica Valini.
She's all butthurt over getting catcalled all the time. So she says, the end of hisses, whistles, and stares. We need to walk the streets without fear. And then 1 year later she puts, men rarely catcall me anymore. I hate that our culture makes me miss it. This lady is fucking absolutely 100% delusional.
Bonkers.
I mean, that's got to be some kind of bipolar schizo shit
But see,
there.
people forget, like, they forget this shit. People, I swear to God, people are on like a 24-hour loop, man. They go to bed, they wake up, it's reset.
Yeah, I mean, if 24 hours passes.
Oh, yeah, that's being generous.
Very generous. Okay, so this one's good. It shows a little boy getting raised by two dads, and the left article says, two dads are better than one. And on the right side, we have old boy's horror raised by global pedophile ring.
Same two dads, same kid.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This is a good one from Ocasio-Cortez, motherfucker.
Her womb is so polluted. She could have my baby, man. That's from our boy Jericho Green. Shout out to you, brother.
Green, buddy. Shout out.
Love you to death, man.
Keep them coming, bro. You're doing great.
Hell yeah.
And we love it. We even got our mom loving that shit.
Hell yeah, my mom can't wait for your videos every day. She's like, is Jericho on yet?
Did you
She
guys
loves
see
that
today's
shit.
Jericho video? He's such a fucking good dude. I
Fuck
love
yeah,
him.
he is.
Love him to death. So this is Business Insider. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Rand Paul, Ilhan Omar, and bipartisan group of lawmakers sent a letter to Trump urging the president to remove U.S. troops from Syria. And then, I don't know how long later,
And
October 8th,
hypocrisy
2019,
is?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez learns to love war, blasts Trump's Syria withdrawal. That I guarantee that's probably, well, see, that was April 3rd, 2019 to October 8th of 2019. So that was actually in the same 6-month span. That's how stupid this lady is. Moving on, I can't even stand to look at her
I wish
face.
it was just her.
God, people
It's
actually
all of
go
them.
out and vote for that shit.
I know.
That's what happens when you get somebody in there and you just vote Democrat because it's Democrat, and you have no moral compass on who you're going to pick for their morals,
Yep.
what kind of judge of character they are. You just like, who's a Democrat, so I'm picking Democrat because I vote Democrat.
And you end up with stupid shit like that.
And that's the whole problem with this supposed democracy. That's actually a republic.
Yeah, and there's not enough people voting locally.
No, local's where it all starts. People need to
Yep.
get out there and do that.
You
for
gotta
sure.
you gotta vote in your small towns first, man. It all starts there.
President can only do so much. Remember that.
Yep. So, all right, one more. Israel has the right and obligation to defend its border with deadly force. And the hypocrisy side says, what was that, just 5 months apart, says, it's time to calm down about the caravan. These people, man. The hypocrisy just rocks.
Oh, it makes my brain hurt so bad. And people buy into this shit every day. It's just, it goes right along the lines remember when Trump was getting all this shit for breaking up families and keeping kids from their moms at the border and shit.
Yeah.
And then they show footage from when it was Obama's administration doing that
dude,
shit.
Obama did all
Blame
that shit.
fucking Trump for it. It was all Obama's fucking idea.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane, and still to this day, you can show people proof after proof, and they will continue to blame Trump for it because Orange Man bad. Why not?
And I tell you what, they cried about it enough, and who changed it? Who started getting the ball rolling?
Mr. Trump did.
Said, if you guys don't like it, change the law. He didn't even make that law. Obama did. He put all that shit into progression.
Well, we have to really focus on something that's important here. For one, a lot of these kids are sex trafficked and trafficked with coyotes into this country with
Yes.
people that are not their parents.
Yes.
If
They don't-
you're a normal, responsible parent, you bring your documents and your birth certificates and everything so you can prove that that child is yours.
Yes.
There's a reason why the kids are separated, because they're probably getting more help when they are separated, and they're probably being treated better when they're separated.
Yeah.
These people don't speak any English. We don't know if they got guns and drugs up their asses. We don't know nothing. We have to vet these people coming into the country.
Yeah.
That's it.
And those kids are, man, they're taken and they're brought here and they say that they're their family and they're not. They separate these kids and they have a line of questions they ask the kids. And if the answers don't line up, hey, sorry about you. We're going to put this kid in a better place.
Yeah, the kid needs protection.
They found a little girl down there. She was like 11 years old and had 45 different kinds of semen samples in her.
Yeah.
Come on, people. If you don't want your kid taken away and put in a better government care than that, Jesus.
Yeah, man.
That's scary shit.
It's completely creepy. And people don't realize 800,000 kids annually go missing from the United States alone. It's even more in the UK. It's well over 1 million in the UK. People don't realize how many kids go missing just to get over borders and just to get sex trafficked and sold like cattle.
Yeah, they think if they're with an adult, people are like, oh, well, it's her legal guardian and she's with an adult and no, that adult probably doesn't have her best interests at heart and he's probably pimping her out.
Yeah. And make no mistake, people,
horrible.
we have zero problem with immigrants. There's a place that immigrants go called customs so they can legally gain access to the country. If they want to come here, no problem here. You want to run over that border and put kids' lives at risk, we have a big fucking problem.
Yes, we do.
So, moving on.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that more later, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's also a smack to the face of everyone that did come here legally and put in the legwork and actually wants to come assimilate and acclimate to our culture here, not bring their shithole country here, There's a big difference. People want to do that and, versus the other. Yeah, I'm sorry.
You're good.
That's just
not how this country was formed.
No.
And that's not this country's culture to do that.
No.
We are proud of our own culture, our own people, and our own country.
Yes.
If you're coming here, get used to the idea. Anyway, moving on. Once again, this one's my Jason's favorite news channel. He watches it nonstop.
Yeah.
CNN Politics. Side 1. No, the presidential election cannot be hacked. Side 2, as soon as Trump's put into office. Where's the outrage over Russia's hack of the U.S. election?
The whole 12 people.
I'm telling you, dude, it's over and over and over again. I mean, it just, at this point, I just can't even read any more of this shit.
It never stops.
So anyway, we're going to do, apparently, 3629 Q post. We'll just move right on. Q says, new board created pending approval from CM, which is Code Monkey, on 8kun or 8chan, what was 8chan, 4chan, / Project DComs. I don't know what that means, but I'm guessing that's going to be the name of the new board if it gets approved.
Nice.
Yeah. And the next one, you can go ahead and take this one, man.
All right. Number 3, 3630. Looks like we got a link there, and there's a picture that says, we stand united, where we go one, we go all. National Security P Upload 1.version1. Looks like it's got a guy out there stand there with a sign that says, restart love, #Q. Thanks, Q. Restart, we will make Iran great again. It says #QAnon. MAGA, and he's got another one underneath it that says MIGA. Make Iran great again. Together we are strong. It just goes to show you how international this Q movement is.
Yeah,
A lot of people don't understand that. See, they're not showing that shit on the mainstream media here. Every other country, people are shouting this QAnon from the rooftop, man. It is an international world effort, and the good are gonna prevail.
You ever seen that movie V for Vendetta?
Yeah, great movie.
I think we're going to have to watch that again soon because I think that's exactly what we're all going to be doing here in the next year or two.
Yeah.
Maybe after Trump's out, I don't know. Maybe that'll be what, 2024?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
There's some diehard lefty loons out there, man, but I tell you what, people are waking up in droves.
I tell you what, once all these guys start going down for all the crap they pulled over the last 30, 40, 50 years, people are going to be leaving that Democrat Party even at a faster rate than they are now.
Yep.
And I've never seen anybody go from Republican to Democrat. I always see the Democrats waking the fuck up and going, yeah, I think I'm more conservative now.
Yeah, they just don't.
They're just crazy.
It's not really all their fault. They're so instilled with this cognitive dissonance, and they've just been brainwashed from so young that they just, I don't know how many black friends I got, and they're just like, oh, you black, you vote Democrat. You black, you vote Democrat. That's all there is to it. Black, vote Democrat. And I'm like, dude, you're fucking yourself.
Never did nothing for any of you.
And they never did anything for any of them, man. All they did was they got the Bill Clinton implemented that 3 strikes you're out rule, put all kinds of everybody in prison, but a lot of black fathers in prison.
Get that man away from the family.
Yeah, they wanted to get that husband out of the home. It's anything that they could do to screw them over, they did it, and they got their votes in turn. They wanted to get the black man out of the home. They wanted to get the black women with the kids. They wanted to get them on government subsidized income. Mm-hmm. To get them on that fat, as Jericho Green would say, on that fat government veiny titty.
Yes, sir.
And all it does is it in turn it makes you dependent on them, and you don't want to do better for yourself. And yeah, they'll give you some money. They'll give you some money to make you barely get by every month, and they'll put you in housing so you can barely get by every month. But it's not living. You're just existing at that point.
You're the government's child at that point.
Yeah.
And you're living off taxpayers that work their butts off for a living.
Yeah, like there's no end. You just get a free check. You just get a free check from everybody that's about busting their ass trying to make something of themselves. And it puts you there in a perpetual state of just barely making it.
And we don't have a problem with that system. A lot of people do need that system legitimately, but a lot of people take advantage of it as well. Meanwhile, we have vets sleeping on the streets that protected this country at one time, and were pretty much brought home and left to rot on the streets.
Oh, you wouldn't believe the amount of able-bodied adults that they just don't want to work. They just can't.
Dude, you know? I worked downtown in Indianapolis right next to the Wheeler Mission, and I would see a carpentry truck pull up every morning to go build homes, and they would offer these homeless guys $100 for a day's work, and only 2 or 3 guys would get up out of 30 or 40 laying there on pallets and skids in the middle of an alley. Only 3 or 4 of them would stand up to go work for a day and get $100.
Jeez,
it was just like, what is going on here? And I understand people have like mental problems and people have disabilities, and I get that. But at the same time, man, there has to be some kind of vetted ideal to follow. We can't just there can't just be free for all immigrants coming in here illegally and getting all the benefits that we pay for as taxpayers. There has to be checks and balances at the end of the day.
I don't know how they're allowed to vote. If you're not a citizen here, how are you casting a ballot for our president?
Don't even get me started on that shit.
That makes no sense to me.
This is where voting the right people in locally has a tremendous effect on what happens.
But would
nationally.
would we travel down to Mexico and vote on their president?
I will, if they let me. I'm going to do it.
It's so weird.
Take a little vacay down around vote time, go cast our vote down there.
And how do they come here and just get welfare? That blows my mind. You're not a citizen.
I don't know, man.
I'll gladly work for people to be on welfare if they need it. Sometimes people need help.
Don't get me started.
You know?
I'm telling you.
I'm good with that. I'm not good with people just stumbling over the border and just saying, "Oh, thanks, I get a place to live. I get a free phone. I get free this, free food. If I break an arm, it's totally taken care of."
Yeah.
Oh, you work your ass off for a living and you can't afford health care. You break an arm. Oh, you're $80,000 in debt, dude.
Yeah. I'm the reason your Band-Aid costs $50 at the hospital. Thanks, guy. Super guy.
Thanks.
All right, moving on. We opened up a can of worms with that one.
Sorry.
That's probably going to happen pretty often in this podcast.
Yeah, we're going to be a ranter sometime.
So, anywho.
Y'all just going to have to deal.
Yep. So we have our next one's 3631. Q puts a picture up here of a guy in Hong Kong, and he's holding up a Q sign. Oh, yet another continent that we have Q under.
It's international, baby.
It says, "We stand united. Where we go one, we go all." 3 exclamation points. National Security P upload 2. Version 1 Q. This is worldwide, guys.
Nice. You see that video of that guy in China? They're taking a video of him. They said, "Hey, you got anything you want to say to Donald Trump?" And that little Chinese guy goes, "Oh, Donald Trump, do not listen to China, they asshole." That shit made my day.
It's always the little things that make your day. Man. It really is.
And they tried to put that facial recognition software in all the streets down there, and all the people were like jumping up on top of them and swinging back and forth on them and pulling them down.
Nice.
Yeah. It goes to show you, man, people ain't going to put up with that kind of shit.
No.
It's awesome.
No. Hell yeah, it is. Okay, the next one, 3632, he just put image on here, and it's got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got about 60, 70 pictures, and these are all the conspiratorial articles that were posted in multiple mainstream news. I see that nobody understands this. If it was such a LARP and such a conspiracy, why are all these mainstream news outlets fighting it so bad to tear it down and rip it to shreds?
That's the number one key indicator, man. That's how you know it's legit.
You're over the target when they start doing that.
That's right. If the mainstream media starts saying what a clown shoe it is, that's how you know it's perfectly legit and it threatens them.
Yep, and here's the classified secrets little paragraph, number 5. It says on the bottom here, the agency's posture towards the media is basically defensive, reactive, and tongue-tied. What we say is, no comment. That disclosure was wrong and outrageous. Next, we wring our hands, send, I don't know what that word is, emissaries, out to brief key people in the administration and Congress and correct the record. Then hunker back waiting the next blow. Maybe it's time for an offense as well as a defense in an attempt to get things in better balance. Here are some personal thoughts as to do's and don'ts on this score. Interesting read. Anywho, goes to show you how screwed everything is. You want to take this one?
Sure.
Read aloud.
Oh, looks like we got another image here. I have no idea what those abbreviations are.
Apparently these are like military abbreviations. They're like acronyms. Like the first one thing is like Army something intelligence agency. The next one's like aviation Air Force intelligence agency. Yada yada yada, so on and so forth.
Oh, okay.
But interesting nonetheless.
Big ol' American flag just floating in the blue American sky.
That is a cool picture.
Yes,
I like
it is. Good view.
I like it. Did you ever hear a story about Trump and that flagpole he had down in Florida? It might have been in Florida. It was somewhere, but he had a flagpole set up. You ever hear that story?
I don't think so.
Okay, this flagpole was like 70 feet tall or something. I might be totally destroying this, but I'll get the main idea across. I'm kind of paraphrasing and whatnot, but he had this big tall flagpole, and it was like 60 feet high, and like the tallest flagpole could only be like 30 feet high. So
what, like city ordinances or something?
Yeah, something bullshit like that. So he agreed. He said, look, Judge, he said, city had him in there. He said, look, man, he goes, I'll go ahead and pay the fines that you give me every week or every year until I get the problem fixed, and you donate what I give you to the veterans. And the judge agreed to it. And then like 2 years later, after he paid a couple years worth of fees or whatever, he took one of his excavators out there and put 30 feet of dirt underneath it, so he just has a big hill underneath the flag.
You're shorting it up, huh?
Yep. Put a big hill under it.
That's what a good man does.
That's right. It's an awesome story. It's a perfect way to know how Trump's brain works.
I'll shorten that flagpole up. I'll put 30 feet of dirt up around it.
Yep. That's right.
Short. Hey, pull your tape out. Measure it up to the top. What you get?
Yep. Perfect. Okay. 3634. D's Democrats' internal infiltration issues with protecting national security. Deliberate? Do you believe in coincidences? At this point, I don't think anybody we know do.
No. There's no such thing as coincidences.
You know, and then we got a couple of links here. 1, 2, 3, 4 links here. Probably just different stories, I'm guessing. We're not going to bring any of those up right now. We've kind of run a little bit longer, but it says DF Chinese spy insert 20 plus years. I'm guessing that's Dianna Feinstein. Has her Chinese driver that worked with her for over 20 years was actually a spy. And even after she was told about it, she still kept him on for another X amount of days. I can't remember what it was, but it was ridiculous. And then we have the One IT scandal. We have Omar paid agent. Yeah, what was that? He's accused of being a paid agent. I think that happened pretty recently. Now she's being accused of being a paid agent for Iran or something.
Qatar.
Qatar. Then we have the Clinton server China relay. We all know that Clinton set up her server to where every time she would see anything, the Chinese would get it. Blah blah blah. It was a bunch of bull. It's all treason, is what it is.
It's high treason.
Treason.
She got caught doing nasty shit with China. She gave them all our plans for the F-35.
Yep.
All kinds of shit I was reading about. They basically have all of our technology.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like in that movie where he's like, they got the Big Mac, I got the Big Mac.
Yeah. Coming to America.
Coming to America, yeah. It's like they just cheesed off all of our technology and called it something else, but it's literally all of our technology.
Yeah.
She sold us down the river bad.
Intellectual property.
Yeah.
Basically.
Secretary of State.
Yep.
Thanks for committing the treason and putting us under the bus.
America's no longer for sale.
Nope.
Q said it. POTUS has said it. And I kind of like that idea.
Yeah, what kind of president actually has his country's best interests at heart?
Not one anybody's used to. That's why they hate him so much.
Yep.
And people don't realize, remember like back in the day, you could a guy could go to work, a regular job, and provide for a family of 4. The mom stayed at home with the kids. Everybody was like where they should have been and been happy. Like women these days are coming around with all these polls saying that they would much rather be at home with their kids, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah, if that's what they want to do.
Yeah, I mean, we should have the option. I mean, we shouldn't have to have the mom and the dad both working full time to barely make ends meet.
Yeah, this feminist movement, it really screwed a lot of women over, and I feel so bad for them because they paid everything for nothing.
Got nothing in return but a big old fuck you.
You know, and that our economy's set up now to where the man and the woman have to work full time to barely make it. It's ludicrous.
Me and my sweet
Lunacy.
beloved girlfriend are one of them. We bust our asses every day, and we're paycheck to paycheck, unfortunately. We try to keep a little in savings for a rainy day or,
Unexpected expense.
when life tries to fuck you.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's messed up. We need to get back to where we make things here, we sell things here, we provide for our own selves. We're able to have that one job that I can go to work and provide for my family of 4 or 5 people, you know?
Yeah, wife take care of the home front. That's a very important job, man.
Yes.
People don't realize, man, that a mom is like the most important job you could do is raise those kids right.
Absolutely.
You know, dad come home and help out with the discipline, and it's just the way it's designed to be, the nuclear family. And that's the first thing that the left's gone after is the nuclear family. And without that home, man, you end up with a country full of crazies.
And that's basically when everything started going to hell, is when they started taking the dads out of the homes, they started making both people work.
Yeah.
Dad's getting in trouble for having a little reefer in his pocket on his way home from work.
Yeah, they put the mom on the government payroll so she don't need dad anymore.
Then the kids grow up without a dad. A lot of people think that's not an important thing, but it's actually one of the most critical things that you can happen to your family is if the dad is gone.
Yeah, it's not about men versus women. Men and women are a team.
Yeah. And they're supposed to be different people. I don't know if you know this or not, but women are supposed to do women things and men are supposed to do men things. It's just how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's why we were made this way.
Men are great at some things. Women excel far greater in others. But
Absolutely.
combined, they're an unstoppable team, and the left don't like that.
No.
They don't like it.
A lot of people don't like it. It just
No.
ain't the left. But
Yeah.
yes. So let's see. We got Valerie Jarrett, direct relay, Iran pre-post Iran deal, future marker. John Kerry, direct relay, Iran pre-post Iran deal, future marker. If known, why is it allowed to happen? It's a good question. It's almost like somebody's setting a trap.
Weird.
If known, will there be justice? It's only a matter of time. Q.
It's one of my favorite things Q always says. Nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing.
Nothing. That's
he's
probably one
right.
of my favorite lines, too.
Yep.
You can run, but you can't hide, motherfucker.
That's right, motherfucker.
All right, you want to take this one?
Sure. Post 3635. Sometimes a good, sometimes a good movie can provide a lot of truth and or background. Official secrets. Relevant today. Enjoy the show.
It's another thing Q says, you're not that familiar with it yet. All this stuff's pretty much a scripted movie we're watching. Pretty much everything's handled in the background to avoid civil unrest and whatnot.
Yep.
But
You got any popcorn? Enjoy the show.
you're watching a movie, folks. Keep watching that news and watching that movie because that's all you're watching.
Yep. And everybody coming together on a conscious level, just being positive thoughts everywhere about it is going to do nothing but help.
That's right. All right, post 3636. We have another YouTube link here, and I actually do have the video for this. We'll put this on one of the last things we do. It's about a 5-minute video, I believe. But it says Russian bots Why are the biggest media companies in the world continually attacking if we are simply a conspiracy or a liar? That's exactly what I was talking about earlier. They wouldn't be attacking and writing all these knockdown articles on the QAnon movement if it wasn't a threat to them.
That's right. Oh, QAnon people, they're all crazy. They're all conspiracy theorists. First indicator that it's 100% legit.
How much time did the media spend on knocking down articles about 9/11 or other conspiracies? Not that much, considering how big a problem that was. Now, weird QAnon comes out. You know, it actually made the list of the 17th or something most, what was it? The most influential people in the world? Yeah. QAnon made like number 17 or something on the list, number 9 or some shit.
Yeah, they also came out a long time ago and called everybody crazy conspiracy theorists for thinking Epstein was involved in all that shit.
Yeah.
Where's Epstein? What happened to Epstein?
Yeah. And I actually saw
crazy conspiracy theorists we are.
Rogan podcast that made me think was that if you believe in 9/11 happened at all, you believe in conspiracy because people conspired with box knives to hijack planes and fly them into the World Trade Center. That's a conspiracy, people.
Yeah.
And all conspiracy means is you don't believe the first thing you're told. You ask questions when you hear the original narrative.
It means people have actually conspired.
To do something. Against
bad.
somebody else. Yeah, that never happens. Anyway, I think we've made our point.
Yes, sir.
Who controls the media? Okay, there are 6 companies that control all of the media. A lot of people aren't aware of that, but that's a big problem. It's basically if you're monopolizing the whole media complex by 5 or 6 people in the world, you can see where that would their narratives would shift consciousness a little bit.
And they control everything you see, everything you hear.
Who controls those 6? I'm guessing family bloodlines. I'm guessing probably Rockefellers,
Rothschilds,
those kind of people. Yeah. Logical thinking.
Windsors.
Q. Let's think logically, people. Why? Why would they do all this? Why would they tell you the truth about everything if they didn't have to?
That's another thing about the whole LARP thing. What kind of LARP do you know of that challenges people to do their own research and teaches them how to think critically and look at things objectively and to think for themselves instead of just looking at the idiot box drooling and just soaking it in like it's just the gospel and it's the truth? No LARP's going to do that. What kind of LARP would teach you how to think critically? How to retrain you to think critically, because most of us have went to public schools and we've been doctored down and dumbed down on purpose since we were little kids. A lot of us are still brainwashed, but I'm glad our parents always taught us to keep an open mind and look at things. There's always 2 sides to every story. And Objectively.
Yes.
So.
Absolutely.
Anyway, food for thought. I think we're going to wrap this video up.
We're going to go ahead and play this 5-minute video that I've recorded for you guys, and we'll be signing off shortly after.
Nation prepares for next year's presidential election. All eyes are on Russia. The country's meddling in the 2016 election was confirmed by special counsel Robert Mueller during his testimony to the House earlier this year. During the public hearing, he warned lawmakers Russia would continue to interfere in our democracy. In Mueller's words, quote, "They're doing it as we sit here." CNET senior producer Dan Patterson followed activity by Russian bots during the impeachment hearings last week. He joins me now. Hi, Dan. Wow, you did some fascinating stuff. So for the past 6 to 8 weeks, you've been following these misinformation, disinformation campaigns that you say really got going during the public hearings, during the impeachment inquiry?
Yeah, so we've been following bots, or what we perceive to be bots based on some data that we've gathered from social media. And there has been a ramp up from the summer all through the campaign as it's progressed. And then when we hit the impeachment hearing last week, we saw a number of conspiracies and false narratives explode, like this conspiracy that Ukraine was behind the hacking of the 2016 election. That is false. It was Russia.
And which we know, by the way, that Russia is more than happy to perpetuate, correct?
That's exactly right, Tanya. Russia has perpetuated this narrative that Ukraine was behind the election. We know that that is false, and in fact, that narrative was popping high. We also saw narratives related to a conspiracy for QAnon or QAnonymous. This is related to the 8chan subreddit, or 8chan message board. This is important because a lot of those conspiracies we saw related to other conspiracies. In fact, we saw them tied to the Hunter Biden false narrative conspiracy. We saw them related to the Pizzagate false narrative conspiracy regarding the 2016 election, and a lot of the conspiracies regarding Hillary Clinton running in 2020. Again, a conspiracy and false narrative.
And how were you able to identify these as bots? And how did the social media sites not catch on?
So I want to issue one caveat, and that's that I am a reporter, not a data scientist. So I use a number of tools, and then I cross-check those tools against each other. And then I get on the phone with data scientists who work at these organizations, as well as our own polling analysts here at CBS News. So the number one, or the primary source I use, is a dashboard from the Securing Democracy Alliance, or the Alliance for Securing Democracy. This is a part of the German Marshall Fund, which is a nonpartisan think tank designed to further North American dialogue. So what they do is identify bots and overt accounts like RT associated with Russia, and it looks at the keywords that those accounts are pushing. I also use an account or a site called Bot Sentinel, which lets me kind of cross-check the trending topics, and I use a final tool developed by the University of Indiana that lets me look at individual accounts and kind of gauge the veracity, how real this site appears.
Now, if a reporter can do this, why can't the sites do it themselves and monitor the situation and delete the bots?
That's a great question, Tanya. Many of these social networks have said that they are deleting many of these influence operations as well as the bot accounts, but when I spoke to sources late last week, what they told me is that, look, Twitter and Facebook do a great job of getting rid of bots associated with, say, Russia, Iran, China. That's kind of a game of whack-a-mole. What they haven't been able to effectively counter are the domestic operations that are popping up because, again, according to my sources, there really isn't a lot of distance or daylight between running a legitimate operation using big data to buy advertisements and using some of these shadier tactics that also involve bots.
So when you say domestic operations, are you saying that a lot of these bots are now coming from the U.S.?
One of the best examples we have is the 2018 Alabama special election, where we saw Democrats using influence operations against their Republican opponents. My sources at some of these organizations say that one of the things we can really expect, because this disinformation is so easy to execute and so ineffective, or so effective, inexpensive and effective, is we can see domestic operations pop up throughout the 2020 election.
So that's what we have to look forward to. Is the 2020 election going to be known as the disinformation campaign run amok? Are we going to see this just proliferate as we get closer to the presidential election?
I think that when we look at those trending topics inside social networks, including Facebook and Twitter, we can expect to see, especially when we look at debates or other big events, a lot of a war for attention in those hashtags and trending topics.
Pretty scary stuff. Dan Patterson, thank you so much for sharing your findings with us.
Good to see you.